Hi, my name is Ashley Mills. I'm the CEO of the Vision Council, representing the entire optical and eye care industry. I'm here today to talk to you about an enormous accomplishment that we have been a proud part of that has just happened at the United Nations earlier this summer, and that is a resolution has finally been passed, the first one in history, called Vision for Everyone, and it recognizes that the world's people should have access to vision care as a main way of catalyzing achievement of Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. I'd like to talk to you today about how we started as a Friends of Vision group and what the process was to achieving passage of this resolution, and to help me tell the story of how we got here, what we did along the way, and what it means, and it means a lot. I have invited my friend, K-T Overbey. She is the president and executive director of OneSight, a foundation that you will hear about shortly. And she was also a critical player and partner within the Friends of Vision. And so over our few years working together, we learned quite a bit along the way. And I'd love to have KT share her story and how this work impacts her work at OneSight. So KT, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about OneSight?
Sure. Thanks so much, Ashley. I'm really happy to be here with you today and talking about this fantastic milestone. As you said, my name is K-T Overbey, and I'm the president and executive director of OneSight. We are an independent nonprofit that is focused on building a world where access to vision care is no longer a barrier to human potential. And so our work really focuses on the 1.1 billion people around the world who need glasses but have no access to get them. And at OneSight, we do that in two ways. So we've been focusing on building permanent and self-sustaining vision centers in countries where there previously was no access. And so we partner often with the government to set up vision centers, make sure we've got the training in place, and then the sale of those glasses ends up supporting the ongoing operations. But we also provide charitable care where we know that there's an urgent need in a population or a community that needs care now. And in those cases, we'll go for anywhere from a week to a day and really serve those who need access to an eye exam and glasses. We provide all the volunteers and the materials to provide that for free.
That's incredible. And I'll recall a few years ago, we did a screening event at the United Nations in the lobby to raise awareness among the different delegations about undiagnosed vision problems and how much of a difference it can make. And I know that you supplied talent and equipment to make that happen, which was tremendous. So thank you. It was great.
It was our pleasure.
Yeah, that was great. So how did you come to be a part of the Friends of Vision group?
Well, I mean, as you know, Ashley, the vision care gap that we're all trying to address it's just too large for any one organization to do it on their own. And so I'm a really big believer in coming together with others to partner, to really, sort of make our individual efforts that much bigger. And I think, the Friends of Vision is such an excellent example of that. To really move forward and maximize the impact that all of us can make with our efforts, we knew we needed global policy change at the highest level. But again, we needed to come together as a sector to be able to do that and to partner with the leaders at the United Nations. And so, being a part of the UN Friends of Vision group has been just a fantastic experience to work with our counterparts, including you at the Vision Council, for all of us to really say, how do we make this change happen? And then work with the fantastic ambassador leaders of the Friends of Vision who are actually in the UN to really bring that together, bring the right messages to their colleagues and make it happen.
It was incredible to watch. And I recall in the earlier years, our meetings where the Friends of Vision would host meetings for the other member states to come and hear what we were all about. and it was chaired by Ambassador Webson from Antigua and Barbuda, who did a spectacular job, of course. And over the course of a couple years and a couple friends of meetings, the group got larger and larger and larger, and Ambassador Webson was able to build really a strong bench of support among many nations around the issue of vision as a catalyst for achieving the SDGs. And so it was really interesting to watch it grow and become more and more sophisticated, and to see just really the early signs of really widespread global support for what we were trying to do. And so that was a really big part of the process, was just continuing to grow our outreach and our supporters and our partnership through the Friends of meetings, and then also a series of high-level political forums that we held in New York back when you could have in-person meetings in New York. But we were able actually to, under the leadership of the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness, we were able to hold some really significant virtual high-level political forums as well, which were incredibly well received. So what I'm really interested, now that we have the luxury of looking back on this incredible achievement, which is still so hard to believe that it's real, but it is. I wondered what was the turning point for you and OneSight? Like, what was the moment that you learned the most, or that you feel like, where was the game changer along the way in this process?
So I think there were a couple of really key lessons throughout this. And the first, you've kind of already highlighted, a great example of it is sort of the passion. When you have a small group that starts out, certainly we were so fortunate to have the leadership of Ambassador Webson. And then as we welcomed Ambassador Fatima from Bangladesh and the ambassador from Ireland, as well as our small group of organizations that worked in the Secretariat, seeing that grow and slowly bringing others into it was really very heartening. But I think that's actually, you have to have that. You have to have that core group that's pushing forward on it. I think the other key piece that was extremely important in helping people really understand the impact of vision on the SDGs was bringing some of the data to bear. Right. So when I think about this, I think all of us have been talking about the fact that, if you look at all 17 of the goals, none of them directly reference vision. And yet many of them can't be achieved without vision. And, when I look at this and I think, you can't have quality education if a large portion of your students can't see. And we know that students learn twice as well with glasses. You can't have quality work and economic growth when you've got workers who can no longer see to do their job well or safely. And we know that workers are 35% more productive with clear vision. And I remember bringing in the number that was published in a major study last year that, the global productivity loss due to vision was $411 billion. So this is a very real driver of our ability to achieve some of the SDGs. And, you can't have gender equity when 55% of the people with vision loss are women and children. And we know that they're significantly less likely to get care in many countries than their male counterparts. So I really think that bringing in some of those data and having that passionate group help spread that knowledge has helped elevate, people's understanding of not just the scope of the vision issue, but the impact it can have across so many other vectors.
I agree, and it's so exciting to have that recognition, and it reminds me of what I think was one of the key strategic moments among the Friends of Vision and really our work to get this resolution passed, and it was to characterize vision as a solution to problems, which it is, to so many problems, but we characterized it as a way to end poverty. And that was really powerful. And it was a deliberate decision not to limit vision's impact to just healthcare. While vision health is health. and vision care is healthcare, by making the connection between vision and access to vision care and the eradication of poverty, we really changed everything. And I thought that was a really critical moment for us when we were deciding how to best frame our issue.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, we take great pride also in saying that we can also eradicate illiteracy and fix equity. I mean, there are so many things that vision can do, but it was critical for us to show that we had a solution to so many things, and vision loss and vision care it's solvable. This can happen. We can get people vision care. So it's doable. I think that's really powerful as well.
That is such an important point. I tell people there are so many important global public health issues that get a lot of focus and should. But this is one that is so eminently solvable, right? Glasses have been around for hundreds of years, and we know it makes the difference.
Yep, absolutely. So I know for us at the Vision Council, this has been it's really been a lightning rod for us when we're talking even in Washington, D.C. and on Capitol Hill. It's very helpful to be able to remind lawmakers that all of the world's countries, including the United States, recognize that vision care is a priority for all people, and a solution. So it's been incredibly, I get a lot of traction when we talk about this in Washington. I'm really curious to hear how the passage of this resolution impacts OneSight's work.
Well, so I think similarly to what you just described, the fact that this was passed unanimously is a powerful note when we're having conversations with government partners, because by definition, their government signed on for this. And, one of the things that I think is very important about this is, this resolution is a critical milestone for the vision care sector. But until we put it into practice, it's just a piece of paper. And so, for us, we've taken this really as a rallying cry that, ensuring that everyone has access to vision care, that is our mission. And so, we're really looking at it as a means to help us. We're actively looking right now to expand our programs into new countries where we can help create that permanent and sustainable access to vision care. And so, as you said, as we're having discussions with government partners, this is a very important policy to be able to reference and for us to be able to all agree that it has been determined that this is important. And so, we're really trying to leverage that in that way so that we can try to expand that impact and make that access. And hopefully we'll see many more people, with access to care in the very near future.
Yes. Hopefully. I know you will. I know we will. We have momentum behind us now.
Absolutely.
Wow. Is there anything else we didn't talk about in terms of the Friends of Vision and our key milestones?
No, the only other thing I would mention is, as you said, it's been a very small but mighty group, and I think we've been able to accomplish so much. I do think that as we go forward, there's opportunities for us to continue to bring in members of additional sectors to really be involved with this, move it forward, partner more closely, because, there's still more to be done. And as I said earlier, I believe that no one group can do it by themselves, but I'm a very big believer that 1 + 1 = 3,000. And so, I hope we can bring more people into this conversation and really partner with us to continue to push this forward.
I think that's really well said. And it's one of the many things I appreciate about the IdeaGen network and platform. We're all working on our respective agendas to solve different problems. And I hope that today we've gotten it across that Vision might be able to help you. If your issue is education, Vision can play a key role. If your issue is employment and decent work, Vision can help. So just keep Vision in mind as you're trying to solve the world's problems, and we would love to work with all of you.
Absolutely.
So thank you, K-T. It's always lovely to see you, hopefully in person soon at the
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be a part of the chat.
All right. Thank you.